that's way too high. 37.5 inches. Wow. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Flat Thunder channel. My name's Andy, and this boat trailer needs a new trailer jack. This is the new replacement we're going to install. Right now we're just testing the heights, and it obviously has a higher lift capacity than what we need. So unless you have a monster truck or one of those really cool jacked up trucks, you don't want to have a hitch like this. You want your boat trailer to be nice and parallel. Do you think the people that sell the lift kits also sell those really big gooseneck drop hitches? I mean, they go together, right? Now this jack is just attached to the trailer tongue with 2 C-clamps so we can test the position. This is the height this trailer was unhooked at, about 22 inches off the ground. It's not made in America, it's made in Mexico, but it is a trusted brand name, and I believe this is the same jack that's on my big gooseneck trailer, at least same manufacturer. This jack has a drop leg. You pull a pin and the leg is adjustable. Give you a little close-up of the nameplate. Part of the thing that makes this jack unique is it has this pull pin and drop leg. So that will be the full up position. Intended to be a weld-on jack, but we don't want to weld it to the trailer just in case we need to replace it and or we need to take it off for some reason. I just don't like the idea of welding it straight to the trailer. It's kind of a permanent. Not to mention, your old pal Andy can't really weld straight up and down very good. At least he needs a lot more practice. So we're gonna define a position here and weld a mounting plate to this so we can bolt it to the trailer. Well, this almost never happens. I found a plate in the scrap pile under the lathe there that just so happens to be pretty much the exact same width as this mounting plate on the swivel jack, and I believe it'll work for our application. It's approximately the right height too. We just need to sneak in 4 bolt holes and then get it welded to the jack. 4.5 wide by 5.5 tall, 1/2 inch holes. One of the hardest parts of this project is apparently I was having a center punch party. I couldn't find any of my center punch. Couldn't find the automatic center punch. Couldn't find my regular purchase center punch. So I have an old punch here that is shaped into a center punch. That's what I do with all my broken standard punches. Keep them for something like this. That'll work. When you're doing this, if you give it a little pressure and then loosen up a little bit, you get smaller chips. That way you don't have a big chip whipping around. Time to switch her up to the big bit. Lube this up really good. Push it on there, let it move around a little bit to find center, and then away you go. And then just repeat the process 3 times, obviously. doggy. Probably should clamp that down. Got a little slippery on me. Alright, that's a whole lot better. Deburring tool just wasn't cutting it. I don't know what I included in the video, but I did this side, and then after I did the other side, I wasn't happy with had a little bit of alignment issue there. Still didn't fix that, but the throat of the weld was too small with the radius, so I did a second pass on top of it here. I think I'll do. And I threw the belt. I myself that old bandsaw blade was actually going to make it through those pieces. Had to go over to the power hacksaw. Yeah, this took a little while and my arm's kind of jelly. Had to complete the cut on the first one that didn't make it all the way through, and then cut the second piece. Luckily, all the bandsaw cutting or hacksaw cutting is done. These are going to be the new tie plates that go on the other side of the jack. They're already a, I don't know, silverish powder coat. All we need to do is plug some holes in these so we can bolt it onto the trailer. Whew. Feel like Jello. Ugh. Well, we got the mounting plate all welded to the tube jack portion of it. I dusted it real quick with some sandpaper and knocked off the little BBs, and then hit the tube a little bit in the area of the welded on plate. We're going to wipe her down with some lacquer thinner, and then hit it with some of this Rust-Oleum crinkle paint. While that's drying, we're getting close to dry, I'm gonna go rip the old jack off the trailer. Then we're gonna pop this on there and then paint the other side, because this is gonna go on while it's still wet, largely because I'm impatient. So. Main reason we made these new backing plates out of angle is because this is the plate that was on there, and as you can see, it's kind of wanged. If you tighten it tight, it will try to bend the bracket over the tube, and then also if the jack has any side loading, it'll try to pull the jack away from it. So wanted something a little more robust. That's why we went with the angle iron. That yielded a nice crinkle finish, and that's kind of handy because situations like this, the finish doesn't need to be perfectly smooth, and it'll hide any defects or problem areas that I didn't get clean. Not to mention, this is going to be tied up against this trailer and you never see it. So that's going to mark it when we bolt it down, but I just don't care. Drop the leg on the jack. and lifted it up to put a little bit of load so the bolts are pushing against the bottom of the trailer. Now we're going to try to straighten these up. They can be crooked because of the bolt slop, so we're going to make them half straight anyways, and go ahead and tighten them up. Even with these angle brackets, you could still bend this bottom flange, which I did just a little bit there. Shouldn't hurt it. I just got a little overexcited tightening it. Don't want this thing shooting off of there. Block the trailer back here so I could unhook or lift up the drop leg. So it's important to note or keep in mind when you're installing a trailer jack, you need to keep in mind ground clearance. Now this is almost as high as the previous jack. It might be down slightly, but it is lower than the spare tire, or higher. It is higher than the spare tire. So this isn't going to be a catch point going down the road. But you need to keep that in mind, otherwise you get your trailer jack all set up and then realize you can't retract it enough to travel down the road. No more blocks with this drop leg. This drop leg square tube trailer jack is going to be one heck of an improvement, and I believe it's going to make the end user and customer extremely happy over their previous cheap Chinese swivel version that almost took their kneecap off. I'm going to watch for that. This definitely is a way more robust option. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave your questions and comments in that section below. And don't forget to punch that subscribe button your way out. Thanks for watching, everyone. Just to recap, if you missed it earlier or if I didn't explain it correctly, most important thing, you want to make sure the tongue of your trailer can go down below the hitch height of your trailer to compensate for different grades and possible small differences in tow vehicle. You also want to make sure it can go above the tow hitch height. That way, the same reason, because your trailer or truck could be up and versus your truck or tow vehicle could be on a higher grade than your trailer, and you want to have just a little bit plus or minus on your actual hitch height. And also, you want to make sure you have adequate ground clearance when the jack is fully retracted. So, hitch height plus or minus your actual tow vehicle, and then ground clearance. Thanks for watching, everyone.